Hi everyone. So our topic for today is all about the laws of exponent. So for number 1, we have the product rule. So let's say if we have x raised to m times x raised to n, so that is equal to x raised to m plus n. So for example, if we have x squared times x cubed, so kopyahin natin yung common base, which is cx, and then let's add the exponent. So we have x raised to the fifth power. Or also if we have, let's say, 3 cubed times 3 to the fourth power. So as you can see, we have a common base. So kopyahin natin si 3 and then add the exponent. So we have 3 raised to 7. And 3 raised to 7 is the same as multiplying 3 7 times by itself. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the value of that is 2,187. How about this one? So let's say if we have the quantity of x plus y raised to the second power times x plus y raised to the fourth power. So kung mapapansin nyo, we have a common base, and that is x plus y. So kopyahin natin yan, and then let's add 2 and 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. Then how about if we have a numerical coefficient? So let's say if we have 5x to the fifth power times 2x raised to the fourth power. So first, let's multiply our numerical coefficient, which is 5 and 2. So 5 times 2, so that is 10. And then let's copy the common base. So we have x, and then let's add the exponent. So we have 5 plus 4, so we have 9. And then for number 2, we have the power rule. So let's say if we have the quantity of x raised to m raised to the nth power, so that is equal to x raised to m times n. So for example, if we have the quantity of x raised to 4 raised to the second power, so first kopyahin natin yung base, so we have x, and then i-multiply natin yung mga exponent. So we have x raised to 4 times 2, so that is 8. How about if we have, let's say, the quantity of 2 cubed raised to the third power. So let's copy the base, so that is 2, and then let's multiply the exponent. So we have 2 raised to 9, and 2 raised to 9, So that is equal to 512. How about if we have a numerical coefficient? So let's say if we have 3x squared, or the quantity of 3x squared raised to the fourth power. So just imagine na may 1 na exponent yung ating numerical coefficient. So first, let's copy yung ating numerical coefficient, and then let's multiply the exponent. And same with the variable. So we have x raised to the 2 times 4. And 3 raised to 1 times 4. So that is 3 raised to the 4th power. X raised to the 8th power. And 3 raised to 4 is equal to 81. So we have 81 x raised to the 8th power. And for number 3, we have the quotient rule. So let's say if we have x raised to m all over x raised to n, so that is equal to x raised to m minus n. So for example, let's say if we have x raised to 6 all over x raised to 4. So first, let's copy the common base. So that is x. Then let's subtract the exponent. So we have x squared. So how about this one? So we have x cubed all over x raised to 7. So again, let's copy the common base and then subtract the exponent. And make sure you know to add and subtract integers. So 3 minus 7, so that is negative 4. And as you can see, meron tayong negative exponent. So ang gagawin natin dyan ay tanggalin natin yung negative sign ng ating exponent. So kunin lang natin yung reciprocal. So this one ay may denominator na 1. So may 1 lang dyan. And then baliktarin lang natin. So we have 1 all over x raised to 4. And then gawin yung positive yung sign ng ating exponent. How about if we have, let's say, y raised to 5 all over y raised to 5. So I believe na alam nyo na kapag dinivide nyo ang isang expression sa kanyang sarili ay equal to 1. But in here, let's apply the quotient rule. So we have y raised to 5 minus 5. So that is equal to y raised to 0. And take note that any expression raised to 0 is equal to 1. So we have 1. And then for number 4, we have the power of a product. So let's say if we have x raised to y, or the quantity of x, y raised to the nth power, so that is equal to x raised to n, y raised to n. So for example, if we have the quantity of xy raised to the third power, so just imagine na may invisible 1 na exponent tayo dito. So actually yung mga variable na walang exponent, may invisible one na exponent. So that is equal to x raised to 1 times 3, y raised to 1 times 3. So we have x cubed times y cubed. Now how about if we have a numerical coefficient? So let's say if we have the quantity of 2a cubed b squared raised to the fourth power. So first, imagine na may invisible one na exponent, c, 2. So that is equal to 2 raised to 1 times 4, a raised to 3 times 4, and then b raised to 2 times 4. So that is equal to 2 raised to 4, a raised to 12, b raised to 8. And then 2 raised to 4 is 16. So we have this as our answer. And then last, we have the power of a quotient. So let's say if we have the quantity of x all over y raised to the nth power. So that is equal to x raised to n, y raised to n. And for example, if we have, let's say, the quantity of 1/2 raised to the fourth power, so that is equal to 1 raised to 4 all over 2 raised to 4. And then 1 raised to 4 is just 1. And then 2 raised to 4 is 16. Now how about if we have, let's say we have the quantity of x all over y raised to the 6th power. So again, just imagine na may invisible 1 dyan. So we have x raised to 1 times 6. And then y raised to 1 times 6. So therefore, we have x raised to 6 all over y raised to 6. The last example, so let's say if we have the quantity of 3 a cube all over 5b raised to 5 raised to the second power. So this time meron tayong numerical coefficient. So again, just imagine na may invisible one na exponent tayo dyan. So that is equal to 3 raised to 1 times 2, a raised to 3 times 2 all over 5 raised to 1 times 2, b raised to 5 times 2. That is equal to 3 squared, a raised to 6 all over 5 squared, b raised to 10. And 3 squared is 9, a raised to 6 all over 5 squared is 25, b raised to 10. And now, let's proceed sa ating mga exercises. So for number 1, we can use here the product rule. So meron tayong common base which is si a. So kopyahin natin yan and then add natin yung exponent. So 4 plus 9 is 13. And then for number 2, we can use here the power rule. So let's copy the base and then multiply the exponent. So we have x raised to 12. And then for number 3, gagamitin natin dito yung quotient rule. So let's copy the common base and then subtract the exponent. And 10 minus 7, so that is 3. And then for number 4, so we can use here the power of a product. But before that, meron dyan yung nagtatago lang na invisible one na exponent sa ating variable. So that is equal to x raised to 1 times 5 is 5. And then y raised to 1 times 5, so that is 5. And then for number 5, pwede natin gamitin dito yung power of a quotient. So again, may invisible one dyan na exponent. So that is the same as a raised to 1 times 8. So that is 8. And then b raised to 1 times 8. So that is also 8. Then number 6. Kung mapapansin nyo, meron tayong common base which is si a minus b. So let's copy that base. So we have a minus b. And dito naman meron tayong invisible one na exponent dyan. So let's add the exponent. So we have 2 plus 1, so that is 3. And number 7, we can use here the product rule. But first, let's multiply the numerical coefficient. So 10 times 3. So we have 30. Then copy yung common base. Then add the exponent. So we have 6 plus 3. So that is equal to 9. Then number 8, using the power of a product. So first, imagine ulit na may invisible one dyan. So we have 7 raised to 1 times 3 is 3. And then x raised to 8 times 3 is 24. And 7 cubed, so that is equal to 343. Number 9. So using the quotient rule, so let's copy the common base. Then let's subtract the exponent. And 4 minus 12 is negative 8. But as you can see, meron tayong negative exponent. So kunin natin yung reciprocal niya. So we have 1 all over x raised to 8. And then number 10, using the power of a product. So we have invisible one dyan. So that is equal to 4 raised to 4. X raised to 4 times 4. So that is 16. And then 6 times 4 is 24. And 4 raised to 4. So that is equal to 256. And for number 11, kung mapapansin nyo, yung ating numerical coefficient sa numerator and then denominator ay both divisible by 2. So pwede nating i-reduce siya as 1/2. So that is So kahit wag na nating isulat yung 1, so kopyahin na lang natin si x over 2y. And andyan lang yung invisible 1 na exponent natin. So that is equal to x cubed 2 cubed y cubed. And 2 raised to 3 is 8. Then for number 12, so we have a raised to 13 minus 13. That is equal to a raised to 0. And again, take note that any expression raised to 0 is 1. And number 13, we can use here the power of a quotient. Pero kung mapapansin nyo, we have a common base. So if we have common base sa numerator and then denominator, we usually subtract the exponent. So we have x raised to 11 minus 6. And then 11 minus 6 is 5. Now we can use here the power rule. So we have x raised to 5 times 9, so that is 45. Number 14, so we have the invisible 1 dyan. So that is equal to 2 raised to 1 times 4 is 4. X raised to 2 times 4 is 8. Then 3 times 4 is 12. 2 raised to 4 is 16. And then for our last example, so let's apply here the quotient rule. So copy natin yung base, then subtract the exponent. So that is equal to x raised to 15. So magkatabi yung negative sign, so magiging positive. And 15 plus 5 is 20. Okay, that's it. Tapos na tayo sa mga example natin. And sa baba naman ay practice exercises for you. So just pause the video and then try nyong sagutan. And then after 10 seconds, ipapakita ko na yung sagot. So good luck and thanks for watching.